Good evening on a Sunday night, Australia Day weekend. JD here, just with a quick one before I put the barbecue on. I came across today a silly piece of advertising, and I'm going to show it to you so that you won't make this same mistake. I was out and about, and let me just turn my camera around so you can see the screen. And I saw this bus advertising, and was running around Sanctuary Cove somewhere, and this was for a shopping centre called My Centre Nerang. Now, a gazillion dollars for whoever can pick what's wrong with that, that bus site. That is just ridiculous. Someone's had too much time on their hands, and they've decided to say hop, skip and jump into My Centre Nerang. It's open 7 days. Well, what a surprise. I haven't come across a shopping centre open 7 days. And have a look at the exposure they give the two major attractions to their shopping centre, Coles and Aldi. Someone is suffering from severe dickheaditis. This is absolutely ridiculous. I saw the bus. I had to actually chase it down the road just to take the photo. Look at this, would you? That's the significance they give to Coles and Aldi. Now, this is what I call creative indulgence gone nuts, gone absolutely mad. Okay, this is not what you want to do, and besides which, you should never ever be advertising on the side of a bus anyway. Can I ask you, have you ever bought anything off the side of a bus doing 80 k's past you on the freeway? I don't think so. Now, you might be sitting there thinking, okay, JD, you are, a so-called marketing expert, so what would you do? I can hear you saying that. I can hear you saying it right now. And because I knew you would say that, I thought I would sketch up how this should have been done. First of all, have you ever bought anything off the side of a bus or the back of a taxi? The answer is no. Have you ever bought anything off the electronic signs around the football games or the cricket game? No, but there's millions of dollars wasted by people suffering from dickheaditis every single week, okay? And this one is in Nerang. You see there, Nerang? And I would imagine this has been put together by a Nerangatang. Okay, that's my dad joke for the day. Let me show you what should have been done, okay? This is what should have been done. I've just sketched it up really quickly, just for the heck of being a show-off. That's what you should do. Don't advertise on the side of a bus, or advertise anywhere for that matter, unless you've got some sort of wow factor, a gosh factor. In this instance here, can you imagine if they made a big deal out of Coles and Aldi and just actually said, look, free shopping bags for every $20 you spend? I mean, we all know that the biggest pain at the moment, I know we all go along with, the environmental reasons for it, I understand that, but every time you go to the supermarket, of course, you get the SHITs because you've forgotten to take your bag, and then they charge you 15 cents or whatever it might be for a bag. Can you imagine if one of the supermarkets just said, look, for every X dollars you spend, we're actually going to give you a free shopping bag? Can you imagine what that would do to the supermarket industry? It would just steal market share like crazy. Let me just bring back so you can see the difference between what I've done there with a wow factor versus what they've done. This is what their bus looked like. Okay, so let me just show you again. This is what the side of the bus looked like. And what I'm saying is that if they actually thought about it, they should have had a wow factor and just said, listen, we're going to give free shopping bags away with every X dollars. Don't take me literally. But you'll see the significance I'm giving Coles there compared to the significance that they gave as their biggest retailer in the shopping centre. And look where they hold it, the size of the bees, you know what, down here. Like absolute madness. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because I come across so many times, business owners who are forgetting that really at the end of the day, you've got to look for your most valuable piece of inventory, your most valuable wow factor, and make a big deal out of that. So for argument's sake, if it was, in the old days it used to be air conditioning and car parking for 10,000 cars, but that's no longer the case. With all the big Westfield shopping centre, there's no need to do that. I mean, this shopping centre here had open 7 days. I'm doing a Macaulay Culkin. 7 days, you're open 7 days? My goodness. That is unbelievable. Next, you're going to say that you're open from 9 till 9. So therefore, what a ridiculous piece of advertising. I want to show you something that actually did stir up a few comments yesterday. And this was David Jones and Myer. I went to David Jones and Myer, and I'm going to show you what I saw at David Jones and Myer. That's what I saw at David Jones and Myer at Robina Town Centre yesterday. Empty, empty, empty. There was nobody there. And the reason nobody is there, and what they're doing now is putting mannequins around the place so that it looks like people are there. I think I've got another one of those. Where is it? No, that's not it. Let me bring up another one. I'm sure that they were planting mannequins everywhere. Well, there you go. You can see it's a packed house, an absolute packed house. Oh, I want to show you this one. Wait till you see this. That's the pay here. It says pay here. Nobody's going to pay you. There's nobody in the shop, okay? The reason that David Jones and Myer are empty is because they're suffering from dickheaditis as well. There you go. Look, they're just planting statues in the shop, mannequins here, so that people, like I was the only one in the shop. I started having a conversation with this guy. He wasn't very interesting, to be honest with you. I think he'd probably say the same about me. Just crazy, crazy stuff. Complete empty shop. And let me tell you what's empty. The reason that Myer and David Jones are empty is because they've forgotten that, you know, in the old days, David Jones used to say, there is no other store like David Jones. Well, BS. There's plenty of stores like David Jones, and there's one in particular that's going to wipe you out, David Jones. It's called Amazon. And if you don't pick your act up, and Myer, and any department store for that matter, doesn't pick their act up, they're going to be out of town because Amazon have come along and made life so much easier for all of us to shop. And David Jones and Myer are stuck in a time warp. I mean, you should. I mean, look. Let me bring back the mannequins. Where the hell are the mannequins? Look, can you see? I want to bring this back. I want to bring the mannequin back. Ah, dear. Have a look at this. Is this modern? Modern. Okay. Look at that. I mean, what a turn on. Okay, that is just like cutting edge, isn't it? 2019. For God's sake. Who is running these places? Who the hell is running these places? The online world. Let me tell you about, here I am, Uncle John saying, let me tell you about the online world. You're sitting there going, oh wow, I've never heard of that, JD. By the way, just in case you've come onto this, you know, you have no clue who this sarcastic guy is. I own a marketing advisory business called the Institute of Wow. And if you'd like to have a look at what I do, it's the instituteofwow.com. And if you'd like to talk to me or one of my crew in terms of helping you avoid doing what Myer and what that meringue shopping centre did on the side of the bus, and you'd like some really good marketing advice, then you might like to book a call with me or one of my team at bookawowcall.com. Book a wow as in W-O-W, wow factor, okay, bookawowcall.com. Now, the reason I'm giving you that blatant plug is because I wanted to tell you about this Facebook Live stuff. This is nuts. This Facebook Live stuff is crazy, and if you're not doing it, then you should. And it doesn't matter whether you feel comfortable in front of the camera, and you might not have as many great dad jokes like I have, he says in a vain sort of way. It's great. Just get on there and be yourself, okay? And the reason I say that is because last Wednesday, okay, so that's about a week and a half ago, we decided to have a webinar-style presentation on Facebook Live. And I did it live at, just like this, live at 6 o'clock last Wednesday night. And I went through a slide presentation. It was in, this is my office, but it was in a more studio-style based thing with the TV screen behind me. And I brought up the usual sort of presentations that I would do if I was at a seminar. But the thing is, I'm not real fussed on doing seminars these days because you've got to jump in planes, and you've got to stay at hotels, and you've got to book rooms, and you have to spend about $7,000 or $8,000 on Facebook to get 60, 70, 80 people in a room. And we've now decided to place a lot of emphasis online, particularly Facebook Live, doing what I'm doing right now, because this is called Sell Once to Many. Now, at the moment, as we're doing it live, it might ebb and flow between 3 and 4 and 5 and 10 people watching. It doesn't matter. It's the replay that matters, okay? Because once you've created this content, you'll find that afterwards you'll have a much bigger audience. In fact, yesterday, as I was doing exactly this Facebook Live from a supermarket car park, I think criticising someone else, I sort of like doing that, it had probably 4, 5, 7, 10 people watching it at the time, but when 24 hours later I looked at the number of views, it's up to 300 and something views, okay? So therefore don't worry too much about when you're doing it live whether there's anybody there. But if you're a business owner and you're looking for traction, you're looking for a sell once to many model, this is it. I'll tell you what happened. Last Wednesday, not Wednesday this week, but the one before, so it's a week and a half ago, we ran this hour and a bit webinar via Facebook Live. 2 days later, $77,000 in sales. Okay, now obviously I flogged my coaching program at the end of it, and I took people down the path of explaining what we do in terms of showing businesses how to do direct response marketing. And 2 days later, $77,000 in sales. Now that is without any expense. All we did was that we held Facebook Live. We sent out an email to our list, and we reminded people via SMS. So we had about 139 viewers on board, and most of them stuck with it right through until after the hour, which is good. Looks like they must have thought the content was okay, and they loved the dad jokes, of course. $77,000. Now, I still have a couple of meetings lined up this week for people who couldn't speak to me last week, and there's every chance in the world that will grow even more. I won't know until I speak to them this week, so we're not counting that. But for a zero investment to pick up $77,000 worth of coaching clients, off one, Facebook Live is insane. And I'll tell you what, it means that I'm not going to be jumping on a plane doing too many seminars in the future. Why would you, when you can do it from the comfort of your office, or if you have a little studio like we do? So I just thought I'd mention that to you. The three things that you need to have if you're going to run a Facebook Live well, I guess sales pitch. I say sales pitch, I shouldn't say that. But it's built for sales, okay? I'm not doing this because I love you. I'm not doing this because I'm a relative of Mother Teresa. I'm doing this because I'm sampling. I've showed you the silly bus ad, and then I've showed you what I would do with it. I've showed you what's happening in Myer and Myer and David Jones, and I'm telling you that they better wake up. By the way, if you wanted to know how Myer and David Jones could fix their business, aside from collecting data, because they don't do that, nobody collects data, what they should be doing is that they should be, give me 1 second, they should be actually having a beautiful coffee shop in the middle of their store. Can you imagine if David Jones and Myer had a fantastic Italian coffee shop with the barista from heaven inside their store on both levels? Put one on both levels, for goodness sake. I can imagine what that's going to do to their business. If they promote that as the absolute Hilton Hotel, the Sheraton-style coffee shop, and if you're looking for a prestige coffee, you ought to come to David Jones and or Myer. I know what that would do to their business. We all run for coffee these days. If you find a good coffee shop, you'll drive miles. You know that. It's the new black, excuse the pun. By the way, if you'd like to comment on Myer or David Jones marketing, or you'd like to just comment on the value of this, we're going to give away an hour consult with me as a prize. So if you'd like to type below, JD, I would like to win. That's all you got to do. JD, I would like to win. We're going to draw this next week and give an hour consult with me. My wife tells me the second prize should be 2 hours consult with me. She's sarcastic. I don't know where she gets that sort of humour from. I don't think it's funny. But if you'd like to win an hour consult with me and get the odd dad joke as well as some valuable marketing advice for your business, it'll be over Skype or Zoom. Just type in JD, I would like to win in the comments below, and we'll draw it next week. We'll contact you if you win. By the way, Facebook Live, let me tell you what you need to do. If you're going to run a Facebook Live like this, you need to do 3 things, or it should have 3 things. Number 1, good content, like dough, of course, good content, okay? So hopefully with the Myer story and the side of the bus story, then you've got good content. Number 2, what you might want to do is make sure that you actually build rapport. I don't know whether I'm doing that or not. I tend to criticize people, so maybe I'm not. How many people have I caught a dickhead on this? Yeah, anyway, I think that sometimes if you do criticise, it attracts maybe the wrong people, but it attracts. So therefore, great content, build rapport, and then make an offer. And make an offer throughout the Facebook Live. If your Facebook Live is like this, it might be 9, 10, 12 minutes long, then make sure that you make an offer regularly throughout that, because Facebook Live being what it is, people tend to just scroll, and then they get distracted by a phone call, or they get distracted by having a meal, or whatever it might be. They go away and they might come back. So therefore, make sure that when you actually are doing a Facebook Live, if you're doing it for business purposes, not if you're just doing it and showing people what you did on holidays or what you ate for breakfast, all that gripping stuff. If you're doing it for business like I'm doing it, and you're sampling your wizardry, then make sure that you make that offer quite regularly throughout. So the 3 things you need on Facebook Live is, number 1, you need content. And good content, valuable content. Number 2, build rapport. So make sure you're actually asking people to engage by what I just said a moment ago. If you'd like to win an hour consult with me, just put down JD, I'd like to win. And then you might even engage by asking them to put commentary below. So if you're enjoying this and you'd like to see more of this, then maybe you might put JD, build my ego so my head becomes that big. You might say, JD, love it, I want more of this. Please tell me when you're doing this Facebook Live in the future. I might get a wheel. I might, like the Don Lane or Johnny Carson show, wheel, that would be good. And then number 3, make offers, okay? You need to make an offer. And my offer to you, aside from, if you'd like to win an hour consult with me, type in, JD, I'd like to win. The other offer I've said to you, if you are in a position where your business has flatlined, you don't have you don't have a marketing plan. And tragically, that's the case with most small to medium-sized businesses. They don't have a marketing plan, and you'd like a marketing plan, and you'd like some help with that. Then just book a call, and that would be with me or one of my team. And to do that, there's a little calendar on this particular webpage, and it's called bookawowcall.com. Book a wow, as in Institute of Wow. Bookawowcall.com. I'm going to put the Barbie on now, and isn't that good? We don't have to go to work tomorrow. Magic, okay? Unless you're in the retail game or maybe in the restaurant game. Sorry. But the rest of us, that's great. Another day to, relax. Okay, guys, well, I'll leave it at that. So therefore, again, if you'd like to talk to myself or any of my team, bookawowcall.com, and have a great Australia Day public holiday tomorrow. All the best.